today we will do. Alright. Philippians 4:12 through 13. Paul says that he has learned to be content in any situation, and that he can do this through the one who gives him strength. So, like Paul took a lot of losses in his life. But you know what? By the end of it, I think he really made God proud. Like, he truly stood on not letting situations affect his faith, no matter what it is. Same thing that, you should apply that to trading. If you take a loss, don't get back into it trying to revenge trade or get your money back or whatever. It's not happening. Just take your L, learn your lesson, and keep it pushing. So yeah, I'm gonna hop off for today. Maybe come back in power, who knows? But for now, just remember, guys, take your L's and walk away, because you don't want to keep taking L's. All right, so everybody knows that if you're trading, you cannot win every single day. So today was one of those days where it was like, I don't know, like the setups weren't working. So I mean, pretty much waited, I want to say like the first hour or so. Let's see, yeah, hour and 20 minutes before I even got into a trade. Because I'm all about patience. I pray about it all the time. Be patient. Wait on the right setups. And I just didn't see a good setup until about the hour and 20 minute mark. It was a nice breakout of a trend. And yeah, we're going to go through where I went wrong. So yeah, let's get into it. And I'll kind of walk you guys through where I feel like I went wrong at. So first off, there is a trend. You can't really see it, but there's a trend going here. Obviously very bullish. I should have kept that in mind. But I was still bearish in my mental. That was my bias for the day. Considering that ES was still up at those highs. So yeah, so now I'm just pretty much I've got a set point where I want to get in at. And yeah, so that was about the point that I wanted to get in. And yeah, so let's let it play out a little bit here. I'm just getting my groups and stuff set up. And keep in mind, this is my first day trading 2 accounts, and these are both funded accounts, so it sucks, but it is what it is. So I'm in the trade there, setting up my stop loss. And I would like to, at this point, I'm already in a little bit too late. But I think this trade, I'm not gonna spoil it, but I think this trade wasn't that bad of a trade. So if we look at it, I'm actually gonna speed this up a little bit. I'll change it to 2. So if we look at it, it's going in my favor. So my goal on my first account is just $100. That's it, because I've got a starter account and I've got an expert account. My mindset changed because of the expert account. I'm like, I'm trying to build up the buffer as quick as possible. That way I can take a payout as soon as possible. Wrong. Don't do that. Be patient. Take your time. So I'm in here with 2 contracts, one on the expert account, one on the starter. Trying to keep my stop loss tight here. But it's moving down, going good in my favor. I should have been trailing a little bit tighter once I got past the point that I want to take, because usually it's a lot easier for me to take $100 profit versus $1,000 profit per se. Some days are like that where you get a lot of continuation, some days aren't. So I should have been trailing it really close, probably at the top of that candle right here. Probably should have been trailing it right there, but greed. I got greedy. So right now on both accounts I'm up 800. Yeah, so obviously it's playing out as I intended, but I want the entire move for some reason. It would have been different. Like, I wouldn't be as upset about it if it was an eval account, because, well, I'm not upset about it at all because it's just a part of the game. I've had like probably 10 winning days in a row, maybe not 10, probably like 8 winning days in a row. Not in just on my funded account. On the evals account, well over 10. So, because it took me a few days to pass the starter and took me 2 days to pass the expert account. So right there, got out with a profit of about $165. Could have been up, I'd say over 600, even though I was up 800. I should have let it stop me out right there at the top of that final wick. So here in my mind, I'm like, okay, I want to get back in again if it bounces off of that EMA line right there, which it ended up doing, which I didn't give it much room to actually be confirmation. So I didn't give it enough room to break out of that uptrend. So you'll see that it touches it and goes right back up. So that was what I believe to be the start of a bear flag, and it was not, and you'll see that. So now, instead of being just about break even, I would have been at this point, even if I lost this trade, would have been just about break even. I'm holding on to it. Got an awful entry, but yeah, so this happened. We'll let it play out, but I just want to kind of make this video to let you guys know, do not get into a revenge trading mode to where you feel like you have to make your money back. I got off after this, the market chopped around, and then there was a setup on the in the afternoon that I looked at. It looked really good. It was a bullish pennant. Ended up giving me the breakout, and I got in kind of later than I would like to have. Ended up losing again about the same amount. So on the starter account is down 1,200, and the expert is down around the same amount. So yeah, that sucks, but I think I've got like 700 or 800 to play with on the expert, and of course I got a pretty nice buffer on the starter account. But I'll let you guys see this, let it play out. So here I'm thinking the reason why I'm still in it, holding that trend, and yeah, I think this was just a big liquidity grab. Then I seen ES like shoot above the VWAP, and that is when I should have tucked my tail and ran. So ended up going about, let's see, so that I moved my stop up. Shouldn't have did that. Never move your stop up, especially past like EMAs and stuff like that. Once they bust through those, then it's pretty much confirmation enough that it's at least going to go a little bit higher. But right there you see I'm down 584 on both accounts. So right there is what I should have been done for the day, which that was my original plan. And then I was like, hey, I might be able to catch a trade in the power hour, and seen a setup and just had to take it. One thing I've noticed is on days when your patterns are not working, your setups aren't working, they're not going to work the rest of the day or even for the next couple days. So just keep that in mind when you're trading. This is very risky. None of this is financial advice by any means. But for the people out there that are trading, just don't fall victim to revenge trading. It's not good. There is no amount of money that you can make that would make it worth it, especially when you're trading prop firms, because of the limits. You can't go over a certain amount. You can't, drawdown is always locked. And here I'm like, oh, look, it's going back down. And then I'm like, I'm going to get back in. But then I just thought about it, like, why? Like, why would you do that? And there you see I put in 4 contracts, and I was about to get into my old mindset of, trying to make back what I lost. But you'll see that. I stopped and I was like, yo, just get off, bro. So let's see. I'm actually fast forwarded a little bit. Me to this point. And you can see my face over here. I'm like freaking distraught. Because like I said, I've had like 10 winning days in a row almost. And this is my first losing day for a long time. Fast forward a little bit more. You see I keep moving those down because in my mind I don't want to. But it's like that little piece of greed inside of you and that little piece of, I want to get back what I lost. Had I gotten to that trade, I would have most likely been stopped out. But I was like, you know what? Let's get rid of it. So I was like, hold on, here it is right here. Yeah, I was like, I'm done. When I seen that, I was like, nah, there's no way. Then ended up getting off after that. Like I said, came back just to be upfront, came back during the power hour and got freaking shot in the face again, but it is what it is. It's trading. Can't win every day. Biggest thing I wish I would have did differently on the power hour is not increase my size. Like the setup was so good. It looks so good, but so I like increased my size. Obviously, when you're down, you have that kind of subconscious feeling that you got to get back. It's not how it works, you know. You'll never win if you're standing on your back foot, pretty much. Like if you're already down or leaning backwards, if you're on the ropes, then you're probably gonna get knocked out. All right. And at this point, I realized that, and I'm like, you know what? It's over at this point. Like, just let it be. The accounts still are alive. I can trade another day. I think one losing day with the expert account, and it's over for that account. But like I said, I've got a pretty big buffer built up on the starter account. So tomorrow I'm gonna focus in on just taking my $200 win and calling it at that, because the main goal of using prop firms is to secure payouts. Okay, if you're not securing payouts, there's no need to be using a prop firm. And with a starter account, it's $100 a day. Like, that's simple. You can pretty much just close your eyes and throw in a trade, and you might go into a lot of drawdown, but eventually you'll hit that $100. But not financial advice. Do not try that. Do not try that. But yeah, that's kind of just what I wanted to go into.